Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. I'm going to try and get a few videos out from things that I've written in the last few days, but didn't have the time or energy to record. All right, so first one, Trump is Hillary. All right, many of those who voted for Trump in 2016 did so not for support of Trump, but because they opposed Hillary and the neoliberal Obama, Biden, Hillary policies, which she had promised to continue and expand upon. At this point in time, if we take an honest reflection, what we really got was Hillary with a bad hairpiece, orange skin, and smaller hands. The policies of the Trump administration and much of the behavior has been nearly identical to what we would have gotten with Hillary. During the 2016 campaign, Trump had policies, or at least things that he said he was going to do. They weren't literally policies, but whether you agreed with them or not. Even now, anyone challenged to name a Hillary policy that they supported cannot name even one. Even less if you ask for details on her policies that they know of. This year, Trump offered absolutely no policies while campaigning for a second term. Nothing. Hillary never accepted any responsibility for her loss. She claimed interference in the election, leading to 4 years of Russiagate. Now Trump is denying any responsibility and claiming interference in the election. All right? Trump said he would drain the swamp. Yet he installed the same swamp and the worst of it in his administration. Like John Bolton, Mike Pompeo, really? All right, this is exactly what Hillary would have done and had indeed promised to do. As Secretary of State, Hillary did extensive damage to U.S. international relations and was instrumental in increasing international tensions, including with China. You remember, we could name the South China Sea the American Sea. Remember that? Yeah. Trump continued the wars begun by Obama, Biden, Hillary, and increased the bombing of other countries. It was under Obama, Biden, and Hillary that we saw the pivot to Asia, while Trump increased tensions with China exponentially. Hillary made no secret that she would have increased aggression toward Russia. During the past 4 years under Trump, we have seen U.S. forces on the Russian border grow, direct confrontation with Russian forces in Syria, the expulsion of Russian diplomats from the U.S., and an ever-lengthening list of sanctions against Russia, including sanctions which have damaged relationships with European allies. Trump has been the most hawkish president regarding Russia since the Cold War ended in 1991. Hillary openly stated that she would have bombed Syria with missiles as well, only sooner. There's no doubt that she would have bombed Syria more aggressively than Trump did, but overall the actions are still the same. He did what she would have done, and she even said it. Hillary orchestrated the assassination of Gaddafi. Trump ordered the assassination of Soleimani. So they both are instrumental in assassinations, aside from regime change efforts and all this stuff. You can count on the fact that Hillary's response to the pandemic would have been nearly identical to the Trump response, because both of them are capitalists. They care more about Wall Street than they care about the American people. Now, if you think that, there would have been any difference, then you're delusional. Hillary was a Wall Street and military-industrial complex whore. Remember the speech transcripts, which never materialized? Trump gave the rich and corporations massive tax cuts and then turned around and bailed out the exact same corporations that got tax cuts. The American people paid for the tax cuts. We paid for the bailouts. Hillary was pro-fracking and against renewable energy. Trump, ditto. The Clinton Foundation was investigated for fraud in a case which just disappeared. However, the Clinton Global Initiative dissolved after the 2016 election. The Trump Foundation has been accused extensively of fraud. Hillary used her office for personal enrichment, paid speeches by Bill Clinton to Russian investors regarding Uranium One. Ring a bell? Trump has openly used his position for his own enrichment via Trump properties and merchandise. Trump opposes universal health care, Medicare for all, and so did Hillary. Remember her saying universal health care ain't never gonna happen. In addition, neither ever even suggested placing limits on premiums, deductibles, co-payments, or anything else regarding health coverage, which results in consumer out-of-pocket costs for medical care. Any of it, all of it, can just go up without limit. Hillary was oppositional to increasing the minimum wage, as Trump has been. She eventually stated a policy increasing the minimum wage in the final weeks or even days of her campaign, although that would have only resulted in an increase that would have brought the minimum wage to $12, and that wouldn't have been until the end of 2022. Nobody believed that she was even going to act on that. Trump flip-flopped on the subject repeatedly in 2016, eventually vaguely stating that he supported raising the wage. In 4 years, he has never even entertained the idea of increasing the minimum wage. Hillary absolutely despised Julian Assange, which is no secret. Yet it is the Trump administration that issued a sealed indictment which resulted in the arrest and continued torture of Assange for the crime of journalism. We can count on the fact that Hillary would have been just as equally aggressive against Chelsea Manning as the Trump administration has been. I'm sure I'm missing a few comparisons here, But this list is enough to make the case that I am presenting quite compelling. Trump supporters may have voted against Hillary in 2016, but in the end, they got a carbon copy of what would have occurred under a Hillary Clinton administration. In short, they got precisely what they had voted against, yet have largely been blissfully unaware of it for 4 years. Congratulations on your support of the neoliberal establishment and the deep state machine. All right, please share this video. Talk about these subjects. If you can, please donate $1 a month to help expand the channel, and I will see you in the next one.